This conversation is powered by Google Illuminate. Check out illuminate.google.com for more. Ever wondered how a mirror reflects light in 3D? It's way more complicated than you might think.
It really is. We tend to just take it for granted, but there's some pretty fascinating physics going on there.
And this paper, Mirror in 3D Through a Window, dives right into it.
Yeah, it uses some really cool simulations just to show how it all works.
Simulations? Sounds interesting. Let's jump in. So, who are the geniuses behind this paper?
Huan Huquin, Fremont Tang, and Liking. It was a team effort.
And what's the story with the copyright and license?
It's copyrighted, but it's released under a license, so it's probably open source or something. They don't really get into the specifics here.
So it's not some locked away research paper. That's cool. What else did you notice about the first paper's header?
Lots of HTTP header information, the standard stuff web servers use. It shows the status code, 200 OK, the date, the server type, Apache, and other technical details.
Like the content encoding being zip? That's for compression, right?
Exactly. Makes the file smaller so it downloads faster. And the content link tells you the size of the compressed file.
The second paper's header is different, though.
Yeah, it's served by Joomla, a content management system. Notice the expires header is way in the past. That's for aggressive caching. It also uses chunked transfer encoding.
And a set cookie header. So it's probably part of a website with user accounts.
For sure. It looks like a page from an educational resource website, maybe open educational resources or open source physics. The content is laid out like a course outline.
So what's the actual simulation about?
It's a JavaScript simulation showing how a mirror reflects light in 3D, as seen through a window. You can change a bunch of parameters.
Like what?
The position of the mirror, the light source, and where the observer is. It lets you play around with the physics.
Any interesting technical notes from the authors?
Fremont Tang mentions a bug related to setting the 3D panel height in the simulation. Also, full screen mode only works if you double-click the 2D panel. Weird.
So a few quirks to iron out, but overall, it's a functional simulation.
Right, it's a working prototype, and they're pretty upfront about its limitations.
This seems like it would be a great tool for teaching optics.
Totally. Interactive simulations like this make abstract concepts much easier to understand. The website seems designed for education.
It's got sections on physics, chemistry, biology, even math and language. It's a pretty comprehensive resource.
It's a great example of how open educational resources can be really useful.
What other features did you spot on the website?
A search bar, breadcrumbs for navigation, a login system, and a list of popular tags. It's well organized.
And it even has a section for embedding the simulation into a web page. Very user-friendly.
Yeah, making it easy to use in other learning platforms.
What about learning goals and instructions?
The site includes sample learning goals and clear instructions on how to use the simulation. It uses combo boxes and sliders to control the parameters.
So it's not just a simulation, it's a whole learning module.
Exactly. It's clearly designed for educational use with clear objectives and guidance.
Are there any other resources mentioned?
Yeah, there are links to other resources, videos, and research papers. It's a hub for related stuff.
A one-stop shop for learning about mirrors and light reflection.
Right. It's a really well-structured and comprehensive resource.
I noticed some website statistics at the bottom.
Yeah, showing the number of users, articles, and how many times articles have been viewed. It's a popular site.
Millions of views, that's impressive.
It really shows the impact of these open educational resources.
And finally, the license information.
It's Creative Commons Attribution Share alike, but commercial use of the easy JavaScript simulations library requires contacting the developers.
So it's open for educational use, but commercial applications need permission. Good to know.
Overall, this is a great example of how interactive simulations can really improve learning, and the website is a valuable resource for educators and students.
That was a great discussion. Thanks for sharing your insights.